Lifechanyuan的金钱观. The View of Money in Lifechanyuan. Xiefeng. February 13th, 2020. Translated by Qin Yu and edited by Kayer. Money is a symbol of wealth, of which Lifechanyuan needs material wealth, spiritual wealth, and soul wealth. However, when money is transformed into currency, it becomes only a symbol or a medium with which to contract, circulate, and exchange for goods and services. It is like marriage certificates, ID cards, and the like. Its value is only a representation of that which the people who use it recognize it to have. Currency can represent wealth, but is not wealth itself. When it fails to do so, then it becomes worthless. Just as in 2009, Zimbabwean $100 banknotes were not worth the paper and ink with which they were printed and had less value than squares of toilet tissue. The view in Lifechanyuan is to eliminate currency gradually. Most Chanyuan celestial residents never need to handle it, and we achieved this 10 years ago. In the new oasis for life, only the accountant who is responsible for keeping our money and the purchasers who trade with the outside world ever have any need for it. Internally, Chanyuan celestials no longer keep money because no financial transactions take place between us. When no one has any interest in trading with money or currency, then getting along with each other becomes simple and their relations become particularly harmonious and peaceful. Over the past 10 years, Chanyuan celestials have been as close to each other as family members, as brothers and sisters, or as close friends or lovers. We owe this to the sublimation of quality, but the Lifechanyuan's view of money has also played an important role. At present, since people outside Lifechanyuan rely on money to promote all production activities and the exchange of materials and commodities is carried out with currency, Lifechanyuan has to use currency with which to exchange for necessary supplies in the market. But as the Lifechanyuan mode of production and life gradually expands, currency will gradually disappear. For example, we have to pay for electricity. However, when the controllers of the power stations become Chanyuan celestials, they will provide electricity as other celestials provide them with food, clothing, housing, and transportation, and arrange for their birth, aging, illness, and death. In this way, there will be no need to pay electric bills nor currency with which to balance against our electrical consumption. Another example is when Chanyuan celestials need clothes, we have to exchange money for the clothes we wear, but when the controllers of the clothing factories all become Chanyuan celestials, they will supply clothes while others will provide everything else that they need. In this way, the clothes that Chanyuan celestials need will no longer be exchanged for currency. By analogy to all other walks of life, the needs of the whole society can be met this way, and currency will become archaic and unnecessary. Another view of money in Lifechanyuan is that Chanyuan celestials neither borrow from nor lend to each other. They give all of their value to the home, and the home provides for all their needs. So if anyone wanted to borrow money from any Chanyuan celestial, they would be out of luck because none of them would have any to lend them. Since all Chanyuan celestials' needs are provided by the home, of course they would never need to borrow money from anyone else. This concept and practice has relieved people of much trouble and pain with no owing of debts, no pressures on life, and the cost of getting along with each other becoming free. That is, if we do not ask for favors from each other, then we get along better with each other. As there is no money, there are no corrupt officials. Even if one wanted to be corrupt, there are no opportunities for them to do so. Chanyuan celestials living in the homeland have no chance to use money, so they cannot be corrupt. And even if one could find a way, what could they do with their ill-gotten gains and how would they use them? They could not spend them in the nearby community because hundreds of eyes would be staring at them. And besides, all of their needs would have been provided for them by the home. What would they need them for? Would they buy something secretly to make their lives easier or more luxurious than everyone else's? No way. If they did this, they would fall into disrepute, become notorious, and there would no longer be any place for them in the home. Also, Chanyuan celestials do not gift each other, and they cannot form cliques through which to pursue selfish interests. Even if someone wanted to have a deep friendship with someone else, Money would be useless and unnecessary because there will be 256 homes in the future, and everyone will be transferred separately to other branches after a maximum of 3 years, so they might never see each other again in this lifetime. Then what would be the use of having special relationships with each other? It would be better to just maintain normal, good relationships with everyone. Will officials become corrupt and extravagant in Lifechanyuan? First of all, we have no officials. We have a chief director and branch directors, and from a secular perspective, you might say that they are officials, but things do not really work that way. The reason that we call these positions director and manager are to echo secular titles, but the essence is that they are the chief servant and branch servants. They really are servants. The chief director servant has dedicated the most resources to Lifechanyuan, and the branch director servants have not only dedicated much, but they also care the most for all Chanyuan celestials. Do you really believe that such officials as these would degenerate into corruption? Besides, the money is not controlled by any of them. Purchasing items are handled by dedicated purchasers. The director has no chance to embezzle. Theft never happens in our home, but even if one were to take something, where would they hide it and how would they use it? No one's room belongs to them. The rooms are cleaned and tidied up by professional celestial cleaners. Would they dare to put stolen property in their room? Since everyone eats together, works together, and moves about together, how would they be able to use something that is known to be missing? The operation of good programs not only requires that all members have noble morals directing their intentions, but also an efficient, orderly, rational, reasonable, and legal program. How do I, the tour guide of Lifechanyuan, know that I can do these things very well and with ease? Simple. There is no need to rack your brains researching history, exchanging ideas, and thinking about it. Rather, just copy directly the life mode of the thousand-year world. In this way, not only can every Chanyuan celestial live happy, joyous, free, and blessed lives, but after leaving this world, they can at least go to the thousand-year world with experience.